guys. I've got a squirmy little baby here, but hello. Can you see yourself? Probably not. Oh, so sad. She's getting kind of hungry, so I will feed her shortly. Oh my. Okay. Well, I will be back in a little bit. It has been an absolutely crazy week. So, like I was saying, they really are amazing. And you don't know what it's gonna be like, but everything changes in a second, and you're now a mom, and you have this beautiful baby that depends on you for everything, and she's hungry. Hi, beautiful. Hello. She's just so sweet, and you don't all the crying and all the fussiness and all the not knowing what she needs or what she wants it makes things hard, but at the same time they don't know any better. They just know that they need something or want something, and they try to tell you, but you don't know what they're saying. And yeah, but anyway, I figured I'd do a little bit of a birth story for you guys, labor and delivery story. I woke up at around 1 o'clock in the morning on Thursday, October 19th, and at that point my contractions were 5 minutes apart. That's typically when doctors tell you, yep, get up, go to the hospital, like, you're gonna have a baby pretty soon, but I had just woken up, and so I didn't really think much of it. I'm like, I don't know if this is the real thing. If it's not, I don't know what is, because it was really painful, like, from the start. Like, when I woke up, I don't know if I slept through contractions before that, or if they just started as intense and close together as they were when I woke up. But I didn't end up waking Caleb up until like 2:45, because I didn't know. I wasn't sure if it was a real thing. I was timing my contractions, and they kept getting closer together, but then they would also like spread out a little bit more, and so it wasn't super consistent. But I woke him up at around 2:45, and from there we got up and were on the road to the hospital in a matter of 15 minutes. We got to the hospital probably around 3:25, 3:30, and got signed in and all of that. Got my weight taken. I was 135 pounds at the time, so somehow I lost around 3 pounds between my last doctor's appointment and then. I don't know exactly why, or if it was just the clothes I was wearing were different enough where it made that much of a difference. I'm not really sure, but yeah, at that point we were put into a room where they checked my dilation and cervix and, all that jazz. And I was 6 to 7 centimeters dilated about, 20 minutes after we got to the hospital is when they checked my cervix, and at that point I was completely thinned out as well, and so we were admitted and put in a labor and delivery room. So at that point it was probably about 4 o'clock maybe. I don't know exactly, but I had texted my mom shortly after getting to the hospital, just texting her saying, hey, we're at the hospital, I'll let you know what happens. And then I texted her again saying, 6 to 7 centimeters dilated, baby's coming pretty soon. And so, you're wide awake, aren't you? Yeah. So, yeah, after we got to the labor and delivery room, my contractions started getting so painful. I was definitely thinking about getting some kind of pain medication. I definitely did not want an epidural just because of all the things I have heard about them that go wrong. I am not fond of needles. I am not fond of blood. Pregnancy probably isn't necessarily the best idea for someone who does not like blood, but you know, you do what you do and you get a perfect little baby out of it, right? Yeah. But my contractions started getting really bad to the point that I was basically telling my boyfriend, I'm like, I can't do this, there's no way I can do this. I was laying down for the most part, but every time I would get up, it would make the contractions themselves feel a little bit better, but I'd get super nauseous, and so I threw up 3 or 4 different times before giving birth. I went in the bathtub for a little bit just to see how much that would help, and it did help a little bit, but I think the water, even though it wasn't very warm at all, it was warm, but it wasn't hot. That was making me get dizzy, so that didn't last very long, and then I was sitting on an exercise ball for a while, just trying to roll through the contractions a little bit, and because I've heard that makes it easier. That just got really painful on my back. I've had back problems for as long as I can remember, but I also got in 2 car accidents within a few months, a year or so back, and so ever since then they've been even worse. I've been going to a chiropractor, or I went to a chiropractor for a while, and that did help, but it doesn't, I don't think it continuously helps after you stop going. But yeah, so really it was a lot of back pain. The contractions, once they started to get really close together, got extremely intense, and basically I was holding on to something so tight that I probably could have broken it. Caleb's hand probably hurts quite a bit after all of that, but he was amazing. He was just there and supportive and helping me get through all of it. But yeah, so I was in labor for a total of around 7 hours. She was born at 7:40. About half an hour before she was born, the nurses were going to have the doctor come in to break my water. But at the time, they had told me that if I felt like pushing that I should, even though my water hadn't broke yet. And a few minutes before the doctor was about to come in to break my water, it broke on its own, which was the weirdest feeling in the world. Caleb was explaining it as basically sounded like dropping a 5-gallon bucket of water on the floor, which is kind of what it felt like. It felt like a gushing balloon, I guess, but it was very strange. And yeah, I was pushing for about probably like 45 minutes. Only half an hour though of pushing after my water broke, and then she was here. She was 7 pounds and 12 ounces and 20 inches long. Yeah. That was a sweet smile. But so she wasn't the tiniest baby, but she also wasn't huge, and I am so thankful for that. Everything went really smoothly, as smoothly as labor can go. I mean, obviously it was painful, and at the time it's like, no, I can't do this, I'm never doing this again, but once the baby's here, it's like, oh, I could probably do that again. I could probably bear that pain again just for the reward you get out of it. So, after that, they had her on my chest for probably an hour or two. And I believe she started breastfeeding pretty soon after she was born. And she fed for like an hour, which was amazing, honestly. And she just did amazing. She still has a little bit of a red spot in her eye from bursting a blood vessel during birth, but that they said will get better within the next couple weeks, and it should get better on its own. It shouldn't be a problem at all. She had a little bit of bruising on her face, but that is all gone now, and she looks beautiful and perfect. And we say that so much that she's going to grow up thinking her name is beautiful, and that's okay. Within probably a couple hours of giving birth, I was up and walking around a little bit. I took a shower and just got myself cleaned up because I was sweating so much. I kept getting either super cold or super hot, and I think that made me nauseous as well, so that didn't help with the throwing up. But everything went a lot better than I expected. For when you're a first time mom, you don't really know what to expect. You know it's gonna hurt, you know it's gonna be painful, and you know it's gonna be worth it in the end, but you don't know how painful, and you don't know how happy you're gonna be once your baby's actually here and in your arms. And it's really amazing. And this baby's really amazing. And I don't want her to grow up, but I know that she's going to. And so I'm just trying to be positive and think of all the things that me and Daddy get to do with her when she gets bigger. Caleb already bought her first gun, which does not surprise me at all.